Welcome to the Coffee Club, broadcasting live from New York with your host, Felix, and co-host, Dr. Mark. So let's have a cup of coffee and enjoy the show.
There is no heaven. There is no hell. There is only this world and its dark reflection. And we do not know in which of the two worlds we are.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Coffee Club. I'm Felix.
And I'm Dr. Mark.
And today we're coming in pretty somber with all the stuff that's been going on. 7 cops in 8 days killed or died.
Oh, it's a travesty. It truly is. I mean, this last one, the sheriff's deputy on Friday just pumping gas, and the schmuck comes up to him and points a gun, kills him execution style, and if that's not enough, he pumps another 14 bullets into him. Absolutely unprovoked.
Why? Because he was there, I guess. And he was a cop.
Well, that's it. He was wearing his uniform, and that's why I'm glad to say that my son changes when he gets to the precinct. He's dressed in everyday clothes. Yeah, I know. He's dressed in everyday clothes, puts his uniform on, and it's a lot safer for him, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it's a scary thought that you get shot only because of your job.
I was, my friend down in Florida had sent me a link to Diane Rehm show on NPR radio. I listened to it on iTunes about gun control. Okay? And one of the things that was said, I don't remember who said it on the show, is that the whole point of gun control, for the most part, is not to take away, the NRA says, oh, they want our guns, they want to collect our guns. Well, that's not it at all. What they want to do is control the number of handguns and assault rifles and get people to register, and they want to address the problem of mental illness and how these people manage to get weapons like that guy did in Roanoke. And he wrote a 23-page manifesto about everything, how he felt. He felt oppressed as a black man, oppressed as a gay black man, which had nothing to do with it. People just couldn't work with him because of his attitude. And that was proven by reviews that he had gotten.
But the problem was he was never arrested or anything. That any kind of a gun, any kind of a background check wouldn't have. There would have been no red flags.
Well, that it's one of the things of falling between the cracks. Okay, he probably would have fallen between the cracks. This prisoner, this parolee in Texas, in Houston. I mean, obviously his gun was an illegal weapon. Convicts know how to get these things without any problem.
Well, that's the problem. How are we going to keep the illegal guns away from people?
And like I said, it has nothing to do with disarming people, which is what the NRA thrives on. They make sure that anytime there's talk about controlling or registering, or background checks, they say, oh, they're taking our weapons away. Has nothing to do with that.
The problem is the NRA is very powerful. They have strong lobbyists, and both the Democrats and Republicans are afraid to do anything to provoke them.
You're right.
And a lot of people say, but one of their things that they say also, there are enough laws already, but they have to be enforced. How many laws? I'm sure there are a lot of laws that are not being enforced. FBI misses a background check. The one that's 3 days.
Well,
They miss it.
when you go to the gun shows, that's where they want to enforce it. Many of these gun shows in many of the states across the country, in the Midwest and the southern states, like you say, there are no background checks. You just fill out a form, and literally you could walk out with the weapon.
Yeah, these
When you go into a store to buy a weapon, you fill out the form. The guy tells you come back in 3 days because they're doing a background check on you. And even people, even people in the NRA say they encourage background checks because this way at least it's an attempt to keep the guns out of the hands of people that shouldn't have them.
exactly right. But for some reason, we just can't do it. And it seems to, by state, it's being controlled. New York State has tough gun laws. Connecticut should have tough gun laws, but I believe Remingtons are made in Connecticut, and they're big business there, so they're probably a little easy on them.
Probably.
There.
But before we go any further, we have, once again, we've been on the air for about 7 minutes, 5-6 minutes. We haven't given you our phone number.
That's
the number
true.
is 646-595-3275. Why don't you give Felix and Dr. Mark a call? We're anxiously awaiting.
Actually,
what do you have to say?
Let's see. Guns. I mean,
everybody should have an opinion about guns, even if you're in favor of guns.
Yeah.
Even if you own a gun, for that very reason alone, you would, I would think, want to have the right to own a gun controlled, because, as I said before, many crazy people are getting their hands on weapons, and who's paying the price? The legal gun owners, okay? Now, we're not talking carry permits or anything like that. I know in Florida and in Arizona and in Texas, people strap on their gun the way they put a belt on their pants, it's almost like the Old West.
But if you listen to the NRA people, they say where they do have those laws so loose that you can carry them, there's very few shootings.
Well, I have news for you. I would certainly think twice before I got into an argument with somebody who was carrying a weapon.
Maybe that's why there's so few murders there. That's a strong argument for the NRA. The states with the toughest laws have the most murders. Chicago.
Chicago, they're off the grid. They really are.
New Jersey has tough gun laws, but plenty of people are getting killed. I don't know about the Maryland gun laws, but plenty of people get killed there.
West Virginia is another southern state with rather liberal laws. Joe Manchin has an A rating from the NRA. Hey, listen, Gabby Gifford had an A rating. And she was shot in Arizona.
Yep, and she still carries a gun. Right?
Yeah. Well, the father of Allison Parker said that, this time they messed with the wrong person. He said he's not saying that his daughter's death is any more important than anybody else's, and certainly when you think of the Aurora shootings, Columbine, when you think of Newtown, Connecticut, Sandy Hook, they're all tragic. But he said he's not going to take this lightly. He and his daughter's fiancé are going to fight with every breath they have to try to make some sort of change as far as, and he said, not taking guns away, but getting people to register and having background checks.
Well, most guns in the United States that are legal are probably registered, I would think. Because most states require to register you for you to register them. And I believe even if you buy a gun in a gun show, most likely you're supposed to register it anyway.
Well, but no, that's what the big controversy is, that many of the gun shows,
Sell them illegally.
you can purchase. It's not illegal. You can purchase a weapon, but there is no background check. So the person selling the gun doesn't know who he's selling the gun to.
Correct. No, but I'm saying legally, I think you're supposed to register that weapon if you buy it in a gun show.
Well, whether you're supposed to register it or not, who's going to enforce it? Who's
Exactly.
going to know?
Oh no, I agree with you. I agree with you. You got to make laws that are enforceable, and you got to enforce the laws that are on the books already.
Well, as we said, if we know that people out there have opinions about this, so why not give us a call? 646-595-3275. I have to tell you, I listened, as I said before, to the, tell her to call up, Diane Rehm show on NPR. Like I said, it was sent to me by a friend down in Florida, and they were talking about the same thing. It seems like every week you pick up the paper and somebody else is being gunned down, somebody else is being killed.
Yeah.
I'm at a loss for words, and that rarely happens. That usually doesn't happen, Felix.
I know. You lost for words? I'm wondering if we're broadcasting.
I certainly hope so. According to the dials and everything on the computer, it says we are.
Yeah, but somebody said they can't get us.
Well,
which I don't know. So let's see what's going on here.
If anybody out there is having problems, please give us a call and let us know.
If they're having problems, how can they give us a call?
Well, if our voices are breaking up.
Oh, okay.
Folks, we may have to leave you and then sign on again. I don't even know.
I hope not. Everything's appears to be operating very well, so I'm not sure. I don't know. Why don't we put on a song for a couple of seconds and...
yeah, allow me to collect my thoughts.
Hamara, 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 hamara.
Hamina, hamina.
Yeah, we're going to play something from my pluggers. No, wait a sec. We're not going to play something from my pluggers. Where did that song come from, the one you were telling me about? Do you know the person's name?
Oh, I forgot the name of the group.
No, do you know the person's name? Who was posting it?
No, that was on her timeline.
I know, but do you know who that is?
No.
You don't know the person's name or anything?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, forget about playing that then. Okay, takes care of that idea. Let's go back over here and see what's going on.
Anyway, the song was "In America We Still Trust."
Okay, we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hi.
I guess we're on, huh?
Yeah, you're on. You actually popped up on Samantha's Kindle finally, and now I can't even shut it off on her Kindle.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
No, that's fine.
Well, it's not like we're saying anything terrible here.
Shut off the whole